Hello everyone, Jake here with another Transformers review, and today I'll be reviewing the Transformers 1 Orion Pack / Optimus Prime. I will say, I wish they would just make one that has the Orion Pack's face, not the armored faceplate of Optimus Prime. I will say, when I saw this, I was like, I already have Studio Series Orion Pack / Optimus Prime. Should I really get this guy? One thing I will say that I think is a little bit better about him than the Studio Series one is the waist. Although I will say the waist doesn't look as good on here. This one is more accurate to the movie, but this does tend to pop off. I will say that this one is significantly better in my honest opinion. But you can definitely see the size difference between the two of them. And then also, I will say, he is not as good as just the generic movie line of deluxe class figures. I'd say the best one so far, in my opinion, is probably the Bumblebee. I think that one is the closest to being what I would consider very close to a Studio Series quality level. I will say, I find it interesting. I don't remember in the movie, I don't think it was like his hand opened up and then the energy axe came out of it. I don't think that's exactly how it was in the movie, but I think that's an interesting way to do it. The first time I took this off, it took off his hand with it, because his hand is just on a little snap-on thing, and it's very loose. Like, even having it, like, the weight of the axe is enough to just cause it to flip in a little bit, and it's a limp axe, and it just looks really bad if you ask me. There's obviously visible wheels on his upper arms. The window, I think, looks pretty decent. The head sculpt, even though is pretty decent, especially considering how small it is. But it's still, like I said, it's more of Optimus Prime. And then he does have a matrix of leadership. Come on. Camera does not seem to want to focus today. And it's right in here. Although it's kind of like a partial matrix, I think it still looks kind of cool. I don't know if this was made before or after they knew exactly what the matrix was going to look like. Or maybe they just decided, the hand is going to be obscuring most of it anyway, and it wouldn't be able to hold it otherwise. That's also probably a very likely option. And he can hold the matrix, so that's pretty cool. Just like the Studio Series one, but the Studio Series one does it so much better. Okay. Articulation. Head, like it says on the ball joint, can go back that far, but that's also partly for transformation. Doesn't really get any wibbly wobbly, can't really look down. Very stiff 360. Arms can go out that far, although that does involve a little bit of a transformation hinge. Can do a full 360. You can also rotate these around. You can also take them off and make him hold them like normal guns. But also, what's the point? Because I don't think those ever come off in the movie. Bicep rotation. Just slightly over 90-degree bend at the elbow. Wrist can flip in, but that's about it. But that's also for transformation. Do you get waist rotation? I should probably flip that back in before finishing off the articulation. Or just flip open the chest for now. Waist rotation. You do get a little bit of that, but that's also more for transformation. Legs can go out that far. You can do the full splits. Legs go forward that far, back that far. Gets just under 90-degree bend at the knee. Knee rotation. And I guess with the ball joint, you can get a little bit of thigh rotation, but practically none. And based on the way he transforms, there is no ankle tiltage. But if you notice, it's a slight angle to it, so that for his feet to stand flat, they do have to be split so that it's not just, legs stuck together like the G1 stuff. And here we have him in his little Cybertronian truck mode, and I think it's fairly okay, but it's very tiny. But I feel like with how easily this roof piece pops off, like it does not take much at all to get it to pop off. Like just handling it, just there's like I haven't successfully transformed him without it popping off as of yet. I feel like they could have done better if they just want to do it differently. They could have just had it be a little shield that he could hold or something like that. But whatever, it's not the end of the world. The storage I think is pretty cool for the axe, sort of similar to like the Studio Series one. It does roll around a little decently enough. I will say he holds together in his vehicle mode a little bit better than the Studio Series one, but I still feel like the Studio Series one looks a little bit better. And see how they look together. Obviously, I'm pretty sure I've seen pictures of these guys together before. Obviously, this one's so much smaller. There are some, like I said, there are scale issues between the different figures. Since obviously, I feel like, let's go ahead and bring in Bumblebee. Bumblebee is not that big compared to Orion. Like he's smaller, so it makes more sense. Like I feel like he's closer in scale with the Studio Series than he is with his wave release mate. Overall, this is a somewhat decent little figure. I think it would have been a little bit better if the hands were a little bit stronger, if this roof panel stayed on a little better. I think this would have been a much better figure, but for what it is, and like just under $20, which is, you know, standard deluxe class these days, or less than a standard deluxe class these days, I think it's a pretty good, pretty decent value. Sort of like the Alpha Trion and a couple of the others, but I think he's okay. But since I have the Studio Series version, I think that one's a better representation, and in the long run, I'll probably hold on to that one for a significantly longer period of time. Anyway, this has been a review of the Transformers 1 Orion Pack / Optimus Prime. And if you like this review and you'd like to see more, please click that like and subscribe button to see more. Until next time, have a good one, everyone.